Well, you all knew this was coming. I messed up. And where I messed up at was I let others dictate my content and forgot that Kick is in beta and that you're going to have some crazy things happen on that platform. And it's pretty clear that the head CEO, Eddie, it's pretty clear he wants Justin TV 2.0. He wants to go back, thinking that he's going to, evolve the platform or whatever, but he's going back to what Twitch was before it was owned by a corporation, So that means chaos is gonna happen on the platform. And instead of, saying, oh, I won't use that platform until they make these changes, I feel like what I should have done was just be a voice on there, add my voice to the other voices. And I felt like that would have been a better choice. So Ice Poseidon and Aiden Ross are still on the platform. And I also still want to go back. And, the reason that I really like streaming on these platforms, I would go to Trovo if Trovo was actually popular, but it's not, and it was same like Mixer and Facebook Gaming until Mixer gave up to Facebook Gaming. But, being on Mixer, it was cool. I like trying new platforms. I like being a new face on a platform and just, growing in a directory that I would never have a chance to grow in on Twitch. And I know, like, streaming is not discoverable. That's not how you get discovered. You make YouTube content, you make content for offline so people can find you while you're not streaming, and you got to make good content. You got to make interesting content. I get that, but there is a thing about being on a brand new platform in a popular game that is not yet cluttered with a bunch of other streamers. There is something about that I think is awesome. With that said, I'm going to be streaming on Kick again. I'm going to go back. And it's not because I think I'm going to make the phase 3 for their creator program or because I'm not growing on Twitch or YouTube, because I am growing on Twitch and YouTube. I'm meeting new people and stuff. But I haven't had a home for streaming since Mixer. Mixer died. And then when I moved to Kick, it kind of just felt like the same. And what was nice about it was other streamers were more easily approachable, and there are a lot of amazing streamers now on Kick. And yeah, I never left Twitch and YouTube. I'd restream to those 2-3 platforms or whatever. So it's not like I'm not breaking TOS or anything like that. I'm totally breaking TOS by doing that, but I think it's a stupid ass rule. So I multi-stream, and the people that I was concerned about my content, they never showed up to my streams. They never showed up to my tweets. They never showed up to my Discord. So why do I even care about what they think? I respect them. I respect their thoughts. Some of my mods have concerns too about it. And to that, I'd like to say there are issues with Twitch. There are issues with YouTube. I mean, Twitter, they're the same users we're complaining about that is on Kick is also platformed on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. So if I'm going to be like, oh, I'm not going to use this platform because of these bad actors, Well, what about Twitter? What about Twitch? What about Instagram? What about TikTok, for crying out loud? And the cringe that happens on that platform. So I made a mistake. I'm new to this space. I'm not new. I've been doing this for 5 years, but I haven't developed, experience in seeing that, this is just part of it. You're going to have things that push the line, and then the line's going to be drawn 3 weeks later. I think for me, what really, really upset me and made me make that statement of I'm not going to go back to Kick until these two people are gone was I didn't want to go back to Kick. I wanted to make an impossible situation so I myself would not go back. And also, I didn't like how Eddie, the CEO, didn't address anything. And the honest reason, I got to tell you, the only reason I'm going back is because head of partnership, Santa Maria is his name online, I guess. Anyways, I'm horrible. I don't know his first name. I feel bad. I have faith in this guy. I don't have faith in Eddie. I think Eddie's a loose cannon, just like all the people he supports. But I have faith in the head of partnerships over at Kick. He has a lot of experience. He takes what the craziness Eddie says and tries to actually make a plan that's going to be sustainable. And out of all of Kick staff, he was the one that was boots on the ground talking with us through the situation. He didn't really take a side. He didn't really say that things were good or bad. So some people might say, oh, he just went on there and said a big nothing burger. Sure. Whatever. But he was there. He was there looking at an angry mob in the eyes and said, I'm here and I'm listening. You know what I mean? And that's more than Eddie did. He's done more for this platform in the public eye than I feel any of these other people have done, So yeah, let's talk about these changes. So guideline number 1 is there is no pornography allowed on Kick. Kick prohibits the sharing of creation of any pornographic material. Users must refrain from linking to or promoting pornographic material on our platform or engaging in any activity that offers sexual content in exchange for money or gifted items. Explicit content includes, but not limited to, the following activities: solicitation of sexual services, depictions of genital caressing, excessive and overly suggestive content involving oral, anal, or vaginal sex, and graphic depictions of the explosion of sexual body fluids. Is it expulsion? I don't know. We expect all users to adhere to these guidelines to maintain a respectful and safe community. So, if you kind of know if you've listened to how Eddie talks about, and the rest of his staff talk about how they deal with reprimanding streamers. They don't do a knee-jerk reaction where they ban streamers, which I think is like how I did, saying I'm not coming back to the platform. I think that's a wrong statement to lead off with. You know what I mean? Because I think sometimes you have to ban people right away, or suspend people right away and say, hey, this is the line, you crossed it, we're going to suspend you, don't do that again. You know what I mean? But I think what they want to avoid is what Twitch does, and suspend, ban, unban, suspend, ban, unban, suspend. You know what I mean? They don't want to just make their bans and suspensions meaningless. But at the same time, we all know it is. We know that these creators that are the top 1% that bring the chaos to the platform, we know that they're going to push the line and break policy, and they're going to get reported, and either the reports are going to go nowhere, or they're just not going to get reprimanded. So we know that These guidelines probably don't affect the 1%, but guess what? Happens on YouTube, happens on Twitch, happens on TikTok, happens on Instagram, happens everywhere. There's no one above the other, in my opinion. They've all done stuff like this. Guideline number 2, and this directly. Every word in this guideline number 1 actually talks about the Ice Poseidon situation. So directly, like everything in this. So there's that guideline number 1. Then what happened after Ice Poseidon? Let's talk about that. There is no hate speech allowed on Kick. We are committed to fostering a diverse and respectful community, and as such, we strictly prohibit hate speech. Encouraging violence or bullying others under the guise of free speech or just joking is counterproductive to the mission of Kick. Creators and chatters who engage or promote violence or hate based on factors such as skin color, religious belief, vulnerability, or different opinions through slurs or recognize hate speech language will face enforcement actions. Hate speech violations include, but are not limited to, attempts or threats to physical harm or kill others, using weapons to threaten, intimidate, harm, or kill others physically, encouraging or inciting others to participate in acts that may harm others, engaging in brigading, hate, hosting, or weaponizing your chat or community against another community, spreading hate speech related to gender identity, or sexual orientation, promoting discrimination or prejudice based on disability, age, or socioeconomic status. I don't know what that means or how I say that. Engaging in cyberbullying, doxing, harassment of individuals or groups based on personal characteristics or beliefs. Guideline number 1 dealt with Ice Poseidon and what he did on stream, buying a hooker for a viewer, and then going through all that BS. Guideline number 2 talks about, basically directs, is talking about Aiden Ross when he said, all the people that wanted Ice Poseidon suspended or reprimanded for his stream should be hung on trees. That's what he said, and that was just like another big thing, obviously. So the first 2 guidelines are what are important to me. All the other guidelines are whatever. I don't really care about, right? They're normal. These 2 guidelines, they specifically have words in here, verbiage in here that direct 2 situations that I was upset about. And I know, the top 1% is probably not going to ever be held under this. But guess what? It doesn't happen like it happens like that on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Everyone gets away with pushing the line, And I think what my problem with the whole situation was, it wasn't that they were pushing the line. It wasn't, that they were going to get away with it or whatever, because eventually these other platforms, they do get caught up. But it's when the CEO goes in to Ice Poseidon's stream and donates the same price as the hooker was, even though it was legal in that area to do that, illegal in his location. To see a CEO do that is just, it made me lose hope. It made me be like, crap. He wants chaos on this platform and he's going to support it. But you got to look at other platforms. You got to look at Twitch. You got Elon. You know what I mean? And I don't think I remember him doing anything as crazy, but people have their opinions, but yet they still use Twitter. And you can say there's no alternatives, but there is alternatives. You can say, whatever you want to make it, to justify using the platform. I know Kick is chaotic. I know that Aiden Ross is going to host another talk with Andrew Tate. I know that Ice Poseidon is going to do stupid, weird content and push the line. I know that. But when someone subs to me on Twitch, it supports Twitch and whatever decisions they make. When someone supports me with a sub on Kick, it's a 95-5 split. Kick doesn't even touch that money. It just pays for the transaction fees, right? And I get it. wow, Slick is all he cares about is money. And that's not true. That's not true. What makes me sad when I can't stream on Kick is to look at a directory and say, man, I would do well in this directory because it's not that cluttered. And then, you know, look at Kick or look at Twitch and see how far down I am in the directory. To miss out on an adventure. I see my friends growing over on there. And plus, I want to use Kick because I want to chat with my friends. I like the creators over there. So it's not just about money. I work in aviation. I really like my job, and streaming is no longer a job replacement. I think it's a really fun hobby that, you know, I have time for. Making videos like this, making videos where I'm not actually playing a game, I'm just editing and stuff like that. That doesn't excite me. That doesn't excite me as much as turning on the camera, turning on my stream, and actually playing and talking with chat. I love that. That's so fun. But I know, you know, you got to make content every once. I know that's a part of the biz. But I do, you know, if I don't upload that week or whatever, I do expect my growth to adjust accordingly. Be like, you know what? I am focusing a lot on my job and I'm just streaming. So I get it. I get why I'm not growing. But this video basically is just to say, hey, I made a mistake. I jumped. I used my emotions to judge a situation rather than saying, I need to be a voice over there. I need to be a shining light. And it may not be my community or my channel that helps change, but me being with my friends while they're in, you know, just like the head of partnership was in the Twitter spaces, you know, listening, showing his presence, making a talk. You know what I mean? I need to do that and be there with my friends that are on Kick, because I have friends on Kick, you know, that know my name, you know, that like some of my tweets and stuff. Like there is a back and forth. Whereas, you know, I have lost a lot of people on Twitch. As far as interacting, or maybe they just slow down on content creation or whatever. Over the years, I've lost a lot of friends. And I just need to be honest with myself and say, I really like being on Kick. And the people that I'm worried about offending, my longtime friends, they don't support my content. We have great conversations and we interact with each other in amazing ways. And it's awesome to have friends like that. But they, you know, I gotta remember, you know, they're busy, they're doing their content. I got to be busy doing mine, you know, and I can't expect to worry about what other people think. And I got to just be happy myself. So long-winded video to say I'm returning to Kick. I'm not going to delete my tweets. Because, you know, I want people to know that I've made a mistake. I did delete some of the videos on my Kick because I basically tried to burn a bridge. So, anyways, I like Kick and I have faith in the head of partnership for Kick. Eddie's whatever, you know what I mean? I just hope that maybe he sticks to these guidelines for everybody. But at least I know that the head of partnership is working to make that platform better. I trust in the head of partnership on Kick. And that's what I got to say. So I'll see you on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube until I get banned on Twitch for multi-streaming. Bye.